What's up, guys? It's the next day. Back on the KZ, so we got all this kind of laid out. I'm going to throw the carbs back in onto the intakes for now. Try and get the throttle cable hooked back up, and then we'll worry about trying to wrestle in the little CV boots. I know it's a pain in the ass. So I'm gonna wait on that, but I wanna get these in and then see if I can hook fuel up. I just looked at my little mini fuel bottle. The end broke off that little petcock, so I don't have a way of running this, but let's start by trying to just get the carbs installed and then we can wrestle the CV boots in if we have to. I'd like to hear it run first, but we'll see how far we get. Not really too much to say on this one. There's 4 carbs down here that need to go into those 4 intakes, and then we got all the little clamps that go in between. So, in my opinion, this is one of the worst parts about Jap bikes, because they are hard to get on. That's pretty much all there is to say about it. I'll throw these boots on here. Make sure you get 2 screws facing out so you have access to them on each. Don't put them in backwards. But other than that, we're going to lube up the carbs with some lithium or WD-40 or something. Maybe some WD-40 on all the boots, on all of these. A little oil in the cylinders couldn't hurt. Like that. And then I think I might have to snug down the, let's get this battery out of the way. Might have to snug down the throttle cable first as well. Just get that installed. And I did not think I was going to be doing one of these again. Let's get this installed too. Kind of a pain to wrestle these around a little bit, but that's okay. Come on, you. Looks like I need a 3rd pair of hands today. There we go. There's that. Let's see where this wants to be. Something like that. Snug this down. There's not a lot of room in here after, so we'll lock that down first. Okay, so there's our carburetors. Now, cue the music while I spend the next 10 years of my life trying to wrestle these things in. Unless we get really lucky. Let me loosen these boots up a little bit more too. The clamps, rather. Yes, I know the screwdriver's overkill, but it will help a little bit more when we get further. That one's fine. This one's a little too tight. Okay. Let's try this again. All right, right side's in. Now I gotta wiggle the left side in. Oh, that part wasn't too bad. That's the fun part. So basically, carbs are into the intake boots now, which is good. Maybe I should soak these things. I don't know if I'll be able to get these back on. I might try. Lubed up and so this goes into the airbox with the velocity stack. This needs to mount to the carb along the way. I don't know how much flex we're going to have on these, or if I have clamps for these. It looks like there's no clamps. So that'll go kind of like that. It's not nearly as bad when these are actually lubed up or soft, but these are not. So I think I'm going to fill up a baggie or something, or a bucket with some oil and acetone of some sort. Try and revitalize those rubbers. But we can at least snug the carbs down, so let's do that. And then, where does the fuel line go in? Damn, probably should have hooked that up first too. All right, let me figure out where the fuel line goes. Try and get a hose on there too. I should have done that first as well. Do that actually. Let me run a fuel line on there too, just to get it up and out of the bank of carbs, because I don't know if I'll be able to wrestle one in on here without getting a line hooked up first. Okay, fuel line is on. Which way do we want that routed? Come back up through here. And we'll tap in a filter on this on the other side as needed. Okay. Now, I wonder if I'm better off jamming these into the airbox first before we actually install the carbs. That might make more sense. Because I genuinely have no idea if this will even work with how brittle these things are. But we can try it now. And see come on. Man, this is dumb. So dumb. Okay, one more. God, these are so brittle. All right. So now I got to figure out how to wrestle all of these together at once, which is going to be terrible, even though I said I wasn't going to do this originally. I changed my mind. Because if I got to fight them once, I might as well try and get a little further ahead. Maybe. If it becomes too difficult, I'll say screw it. Okay, there's 2. We're getting there. So close. A little bit more. Just get into the intake holes. Like that. One more here. Right there. Now we'll wrestle these into the intakes first. Like that. And then now that these are actually in the airbox, I can push these back on from the inside too. Okay. Carbs are on. Just as miserable as I thought it would be. 1, 2. Got one clamp that twisted itself around. But I do have enough room in the airbox to come back through here and try and wrestle these back on, I think. Hopefully. Let me tighten the carbs down, and then I'll worry about these intake boots. That seems to be much more attainable if I do try and wrestle them through the airbox. You do need to be cautious on these Phillips screws. Make sure they're not getting in the way of the throttle linkage. Just had to move this one because it was trying to hit. That's why I have such a long screwdriver, because usually your normal size screwdriver won't always let you get in here where you need to be. All right, 2 of 4. I hate the airboxes on these. Testing the throttle, make sure that doesn't hit anything. We actually do have all the vacuum stuff if we want to hook all that back up, but what is it, the Clean Air, Kawasaki Clean Air system or something? Clean induction. I don't remember what they're called. In the 80s, every one of the jet bike ones did it. Yix or something for Yamaha, I think. Okay, carbs mounted. Let's see what I can do on these airboxes. Spinning this to figure out which way the orientation has to go. I think that's probably the best version right there. Come on now, you. You're so close. All right. Get out. So I'm pushing the velocity stacks back out of the airbox to lock them back in their grooves right now from the inside. I'm gonna be really upset if I hook these up and end up having to go back into the carbs. There's a good possibility. I'm not gonna lie. Alright, so there's 2. Can we get 3? This is the worst of them. In terms of dry rottedness. If these were soft, it would genuinely not be that bad. But they're not. Man, it's just this third one's killing me. I'm on the outside. Whew, I know you guys probably can't see that much of this, but I'm on these 2. We're almost there on this one. Come on. All right. I think that might work. Obviously, they can go in a tiny bit more, but that's as far as I'm going to get for now. Do I try and do this to the airbox and light it on fire again? Still don't have a way to get fuel into this yet. Maybe I'll rig up a bottle in a funnel or something, or see if I got a petcock. But I can rig something up. Maybe I got an extra tank. We'll figure that one out. But that's kind of where we're at. Carbs are back on. These guys are mostly on. That should actually snug up once I lift this airbox up and get the last bolt in. We could move on to wiring. I'm waiting on another fuel bottle to get sent out. So that should help too. And then maybe we can fire this up tomorrow instead of today. I'm pretty confident it should run. Might still need some final tweaking, but a little bit closer. So carbs are wrestled in, airbox is in. If I want to do the switches, then I got to move the bike, and I don't know if I really feel like doing that right now. I'm losing motivation. Master cylinder for the upper we need to put in, and that's switch on the right-hand side. I'm going to do that before we start gutting through all of the electrical. The starter relay works, the starter works. It's just not getting a trigger signal, and this is busted, so I don't know if it's split or cracked up in here. We'll put a new wiring set up on there first before I start tracing all this back, but there should only be one wire coming down from that trigger switch to the starter solenoid, so it shouldn't be hard. It's the yellow and red wire right here. So if I'm not getting signal after we swap that switch out to this, then we got a bigger issue that we gotta find. But that's where we're gonna stop for now. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.